Certainly, and it's one of the major big updates coming in because while a lot of information of the NSE IPO was discussed in the last year, it's a big boost with the SEBI chair and the comments coming in that the NOC could come in as early as this month. What's also important is that NSE had actually applied for the NOC multiple times, once in 2019, twice in 2020, and also in 2024. So this will be a few times that they have applied. Might be successful this time around. That'll be something to watch out for. But what we are actually looking at is comparing NSE and BSE on at least 4 key metrics. Also, the first one is, of course, the F&O market share. Now, NSE has continued to maintain a dominant market share, but it has seen reduction largely because of the increase of competition coming in from BSE. Now, it's increased from 26% to 38%. This is, of course, the F&O market share. But largely, when you look at the equity market options premium, there also BSE has put on a strong show, up from 12% to 22%, with NSE maintaining its high share of almost 77%. The third key metric is, of course, in terms of the operating margins. NSE continues to have a dominant operating margin profile, up almost at 77% in terms of operating margin. This underscores the company's strong performance in terms of financial, led by outperformance in the equity market share, as we spoke about. But for BSE specifically, that hasn't been too far away as well. From 2025, it has increased to 65% from almost 54% in the last year. And finally, in terms of the ROE, that's the last picture. While NSE has seen a deceleration essentially in return on equity, BSE on the other hand has increased it to 44%, and that will be another key thing that we continue to monitor once both companies get listed as well. Finally, in terms of the expiry date change, we have spoken about quite a bit at the end of last year, but this was one of the biggest beneficiaries for NSE, where from September 2025, the derivative expiry shifted from Thursday to Tuesday. And what this did was increase the company's market share for Friday, Monday, as well as for Tuesday, and it was visible in the numbers as well. Now, this also helped the company improve its equity option premium to 86% largely versus 51.2% in the month of November, and that is reflected in the numbers. Finally, in terms of valuations, what do you have to watch? Global players, global exchanges trade at roughly around 10 to 30 times forward price to earnings. Indian exchanges like MCX and BSE are just a tad below that. So you will have NSE and the premium coming in. Finally, according to brokerage firm BNK, they do see that 1% change in turnover does have an impact on earnings. So for NSE, it's a decline larger compared to BSE at 0.57 versus 0.53. But that's largely the lowdown of the NSE IPO. It's a big one coming in. If the NOC does come in, a lot more to watch out for by the end of this month.
Thanks a lot, Puneet, for that. And of course,